Hey guys, this is Flame Reacts back with another video today.
We're gonna watch the end of the world.
Oh, we already seen that last video. We're gonna watch what the Earth looks like in
Oh, wait, 5
2000.
ways. 5 ways that one.
Oh wait, there's only 5 ways. We got dead. Okay, Ashley,
While the end of the world may not be a very pleasant topic, it's nevertheless an interesting one. Each and every day, people speculate the number of ways planet Earth will be destroyed and all of us along with it. Could our entire world be sucked into and obliterated by a black hole? Could the human race die out thanks to massive damage and ash brought on by the eruption of a massive volcano? Any number of endings are possible, but some are more possible than others. Apart from alien invasions and a massive zombie outbreak, we looked at the top 5 most realistic ways our world could end within 100 years. Let's begin. Number 5. Geomagnetic reversal. Thanks to the film The Day After Tomorrow, you may be aware of the event known as geomagnetic reversal. Essentially, it's when the North and South poles begin to grow weak over time and then switch places. Scientists believe that this pole reversal process occurs around every 500,000 years, and that a reversal may be just around the corner. Recent studies have shown that the North Pole has been weakening at an increased rate. Thankfully, what happens in real life is quite a bit less dramatic than what's depicted in the movie. The Earth's gravitational field protects the planet's surface from radiation and dangerous solar flares. You may not die from an outbreak of tornadoes or a tsunami that takes over New York City, but it could lead to a massive outbreak of cancer and other medical conditions. Number 4. Epic asteroid. Some people are deathly afraid of the idea of an asteroid colliding with Earth, and, well, who can blame them? An asteroid that spanned over 6 miles is what wiped the dinosaurs out millions of years ago, and it could easily happen again. While modern technology allows us to monitor potential threats in our skies, humans have limited options when dealing with these massive space rocks. What's an even more terrifying thought? An asteroid roughly a mile in diameter would cause enough of an impact that sunlight would be unable to penetrate the Earth's surface through the massive layers of smoke and debris. While the impact itself would not entirely destroy the planet, nevertheless, it would still manage to block out the sun, making crops all around the world die. Humans would eventually die from starvation. Number 3. Nuclear war. Considering recent political events, many people are beginning to wonder whether or not another world war is just around the corner for a number of nations that call Earth home. With terrorist attacks and secret meetings on the rise, a nuclear attack could very well be in the future for mankind. The targeted sites would be obliterated within moments, but every corner of the planet would feel the effects of nuclear war. Massive fires would break out, along with dangerous levels of radiation. Smoke and debris would cover the sky, and food would quickly grow scarce. Nuclear weapons are dangerous and a potential threat each and every day. Number 2. Mass pandemic. Despite cutthroat regulations for places such as the Center for Disease Control, pandemics occur on average a couple of times per century. Unknown or seemingly dormant viruses suddenly appear in a remote part of the world and panic sets in as the illness spreads. Working together, countries have managed to curb these outbreaks thanks to the media and travel regulations. However, considering the fact that the population continues to grow and faster means of transportation are always being explored, it's possible mankind could die out due to a mass pandemic that sweeps across all borders undetected or unknown. Films such as Contagion are intense because they show a potential reality. Number 1. Climate change. Most people today believe that if nuclear war doesn't wipe the human race out, climate change will. Ever-increasing carbon emissions in our atmosphere are causing subtle yet dangerous effects on the landscape of our planet. This simulation shows what major cities in the world would be underwater if and when the polar ice caps melt altogether, one of the largest signs of severe climate change. Altogether.
Miami's right here, Miami, Florida. How?
No, that probably.
How did it
It's
get there?
It's sunk. Like LA, like California's sinking. Everybody knows it, right?
Wait, California? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Bro, if Hawaii
Water,
was gonna
if-
sink, it'd be like 10 years. It'd all be underground.
And when the polar ice caps melt altogether, one of the largest signs of severe climate change. Not only would mankind endure massive flooding and the destruction of numerous cities, but the inevitable increase in
Oh, spinning? Oh my god.
Just put none of the above.
Which of these smartphones have you
What
heard
do you
of?
like? What do you like?
Apple,
Yeah,
Samsung, all of them. I haven't.
whatever.
Actually, I haven't.
Oh, I had them. I just put Apple for the
Look at the bright side. I mean the dark side because we're talking about it's not spinning.
What would happen if the Earth stopped spinning?
And now watch this.
We've always been fascinated by what would become of Earth and us if something disastrous happened.
Yo!
Well, I try not.
Yo! You wanna play some scary games, bro? Here you go!
We've always been fascinated by what would become of Earth and
Oh, yeah,
us
bring
if
that.
something disastrous happened.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh my
I try
God.
not to think about it. Anyway, have you wondered about it as well? Well, that's why Hollywood makes so many movies about the end of the world.
Well, because they like them.
We at Brightside decided to find out what would happen if Earth suddenly stopped spinning.
That's true.
It's really slowing down, by the way. Let's have a look at the incredible consequences that might follow one day. 1. All objects would fly east at high speed with their own momentum.
One direction.
Dude, I'd be the best thing alive!
We don't notice the huge speed at which the Earth is spinning, but if it stopped, says Sten Odenwald from NASA, everything on its surface would be torn off the ground and fly east, eventually falling back down. At the equator, the speed would be the greatest, about 1,000 miles per hour, while closer to the poles, it would reach 800 miles per hour. Whew!
There's no way. If that really happened.
Number 2. Enormous tidal waves would occur.
Watch all of these happen.
The power of momentum would make the water in the seas and oceans move to form extremely powerful tsunamis. They would move east and clean the coastal cities off the face of the Earth. Well, we hope it'll never happen.
Hey, honey, take a bath. Got it.
Number 3.
So
A
clean.
powerful wind would rise.
Oh, yeah.
The atmosphere would continue moving, and its momentum would make it rotate around the planet, probably several times. The starting airflow speed would be enormous, more than 1,100 miles per hour. It's possible that Earth would lose part of its atmosphere while this happens.
Oh my god.
So, hold your breath.
So if the Earth lost its atmosphere, space would just come in.
Wait a second.
Number 4. All water on Earth would collect in 2 oceans, and a new continent would form.
What's the one part that's in I always
Water gathers at the equator now due to centrifugal force. A sudden stop in Earth's spinning would make the land masses and water redistribute themselves to form 2 great oceans on both poles. The land on the equator would rise and create a gigantic new continent covering the whole planet through the equator. Good time to know somebody in real estate, huh?
No.
Number 5. Volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, and earthquakes would begin. The huge kinetic force of Earth and its momentum would shake the planet to its core. The result is quite predictable. All-powerful hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, and destructive earthquakes would begin everywhere.
I jump in a tornado. I'll be the first man to fly.
You would not fly.
Number 6. Earth would transform from a geoid into a sphere. The geoid shape of Earth is due to its spinning motion. It's a bit flattened on the poles and a little bulging at the equator, kind of like me. You can find the lecture by Professor Etienne Geis from ENS,
Cheese in space.
Little Bulging at the
Oh, that's so
Jeez.
equator, kind of like me. You can find the lecture by Professor Etienne Geis from ENS de Lyon online to get more details. If the
Oh,
planet
no, I
stops,
dislike.
its shape will become more
Dislike,
spherical.
Stupid.
Like,
Number 7. One hemisphere would become as hot as a desert, and the other would be as cold as the Antarctic. If Earth continued to make just one turn around the Sun, only half of it would be heated. This would make it scorching hot and brightly lit, with the highest temperatures at the equator. This, of course, would really be the bright side of life. The second hemisphere would become a kingdom of eternal night and Arctic cold. NASA has another version. Earth would stop turning altogether, and there would be a 6-month day followed by a 6-month night. Number 8. The magnetic field protecting Earth from dangerous cosmic radiation
Half of a year is a day.
night. So we'd be staying up at like 3 a.m. and be like, oh.
Something. I'd be in the middle of the equator.
would disappear.
And freeze.
The magnetic
Middle.
field is basically formed due to the outer core processes and the planet's spinning motion. If the spinning
Turn up your
stopped,
watches,
the
download
magnetic field
everything.
would also disappear, predicts Sten Odenwald. The field protects us from solar wind, the charged particles from the sun that would destroy every single living being. Oy.
And then that would happen. No.
Number 9. If people survived, it would only be on the border of heat and cold.
Hello. I'm hot. Oh, I'm cool.
See, I told you. It'd be
Humanity
on the
would only-
equal. I knew it. I said I'd live on the equator.
I know.
Where there's hot and cold. That's what I just said. So I'd live. I'd be living
On
on
the
cheese.
hot side of the equator or the cold side?
They'd be
They'd
living
probably
on.
be pushing
They'd
it
be
together.
living on cheese planet. That's what I would eat. Cheese planet. It's not the moon. There's 2 other moons around it.
only be able to adapt to the new conditions on the border of day and night. Humans would have to live underground and only go outside in protective suits because of radiation.
I watch like
Number 10. The moon would eventually fall onto Earth, but that wouldn't be soon. Professor Von Pratt of Stanford University says the moon would gradually slow down too, and its distance from Earth would reduce. In time, it would probably just fall onto our planet.
Hey, somebody get a selfie.
no, is that actually a guess? I observe it.
In fact, the Earth is slowing down. In its youth, it spun much faster. A day lasted only 6 hours. The moon's gravity causes ebbs and tides that gradually drop the speed of Earth's motion. NASA calculated that a day's length increases by 2.3 milliseconds every 100 years. After billions of years, days would become several times longer, and then our planet will probably stop completely. And I should live so long. Share this video with everyone you know to show them what would follow if Earth stopped spinning in the future.
Well, I didn't say that. Say that right now.
I got a dig bit.
12 mistakes that make you look
Nope, censored. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe and don't look to the right. Thank you very much. I'll see you all in the next video.